The coronavirus pandemic has left close to 250 Indians stranded in Kenya and Somalia. The Indian High Commission in Nairobi is closely monitoring the situation and trying to reach out to them. Gurudwaras and temples have also come together to provide food to these stranded citizens. Speaking exclusively to our diplomatic correspondent Siddhant Sibil, the Indian envoy to Kenya, High Commissioner Rahul Chhabra, says that India was helping Kenya, but not just by supplying drugs, but also by training their healthcare workers to fight the pandemic. Let's listen in.
India is helping many African countries at a time of global pandemic. With me is the Indian envoy to Kenya to talk about how India is reaching out to Kenya, where there are a number of Indians also present. So welcome to WION. My first question to you is an obvious question. How are India and Kenya cooperating when it comes to this pandemic, fighting this pandemic?
Firstly, thank you, Siddhant, for having me on your show. It's a pleasure to be on. Just in the context of your question, Dr. Jaishankar, our foreign minister, spoke to the foreign minister of Kenya, Madam Omamo, Ambassador Omamo, just last week. And during the course of that call, they discussed about how India is showing its solidarity, as you mentioned, to all the African countries, and to find a way of working forward. And in that conversation itself, CS Madam Omamo, the Cabinet Secretary, requested Dr. Jaishankar for a relaxation on the export ban of hydroxychloroquine. And that was granted on the spot by Dr. Jaishankar. So they were very much appreciative of that. In addition, we are also running what are called e-ITech courses. You know, this is at the moment we had a very short notice, but we still managed to get 5 Kenyans to register for those courses. They're especially meant for healthcare professionals. And this is training on COVID-19. So it's extremely timely. And this is just the first of the courses, and we are hoping to have many more courses coming up, and we'll have many more Kenyans also participating in that. To just give you a background, we had over 400 Kenyans go for ITech program just last year. So ITech is a very popular program. The other way we are helping, collaborating is in terms of evacuation of Kenyan nationals who are currently in India. You know, many of them go there for treatment of all kinds, cancer, elective operations, knee surgeries. There are all sorts of, because healthcare here is a little weak. So these Kenyans now have received their treatment for these other diseases and are now waiting to come back. So the Kenyan government requested us, and we have facilitated not only the approvals for the flights to take off from India and bring them back here, but also in terms of road transport, because these people are all over. They are in Coimbatore, they are in Chennai, Hyderabad, and the flight is going to take off just Delhi or Mumbai. So we need to get them all together. So we are helping them get the permissions to do the road transport. And lastly, on a medium-term basis, we are looking at collaborating with Kenya on the program called E-Arogya Bharati, which is actually a collaboration between hospitals through the internet, between both hospitals. So that is a more medium-term project.
So my next question is on the Indians in the country in Kenya. There are a number of Indians who are stranded there. So how is the Indian mission reaching out to them? Any plans of evacuation?
Firstly, since you mentioned, they are actually Indians stranded here. So that's one category. There are 100 in Nairobi, 150, over 150 in Mombasa, which is a port town in Kenya, and there are 5 in Somalia. So there are these 255, 260 Indians who are actually stranded, meaning they came here for tourism, or they came here for business, or to meet their relatives or friends or whatever, and now they can't go back. So for them, what we are doing is we have maintained a list. We are regularly in contact with them, talking to them, counseling them, advising them to, sort of be calm and bear with all of us, bear with the country, bear with the world to beat this violent issue. We are also helping them fill up the visa forms online from the Kenyan government side. So that is for the Kenyans who are stranded here. Then you said the Indian community that's here. There are 20,000 people who are Indian passport holders and about 60,000 people who are OCI card holders. So for those, I am doing video conference calls with the heads of the community associations. So I've done calls, and over 25 heads came online for this call, where we discussed the best practices, what are they doing, they shared their experiences. So just to give you an idea, the Gurdwara in Nairobi, there are more than 20 Gurdwaras, by the way, just for a matter of interest for your viewers may be interested. But the one in Nairobi is giving hot meals to 400 people daily and dry rations to another 150 daily. That's just one Gurdwara here. Similarly, the Hindu community of Kenya, which is an umbrella organization, has been distributing 20,000 litres to the public of disinfectants and hand sanitizers, 50,000 litres to government and police personnel, 2 cubicles for testing COVID-19. So their chapter there are many chapters across the country, but just one example, their chapter in Nakuru actually fed 4,000 families last month. So this is what they are doing. Then to come to just give you a small example, there's called the Lohana Samaj. They actually are having a helpline for seniors. So they don't want the elderly people to go out and expose themselves.